Welcome to Santa Barbara Now. I'm your host, Assemblyman Angelo Santabarbara. This is a local show where we talk about local issues, local organizations, and today we're going to be talking about a local athlete from the city of Amsterdam. Tommy Marcellino is here. He's been on the show before. Welcome back, Tommy.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here, and we're talking about another victory since passage of professional MMA in New York State. We've heard about the big names. We've heard about some of the bigger events that have happened. This is also a big event, but also a first here in New York State. And you're going to be the first New York fighter competing in the World Series of Fighting. Tell us about your experience with World Series of Fighting. You've had to go out of state to compete.
Basically, I turned pro about 10 years ago. My whole career has been out of state, and New York was the last state to allow MMA, which the reasons for not allowing it were wrong. I had a few fights that, including my last one, I didn't get a fair shake. You fight hometown guys, you know, their uncles might be the judges, you know, so it's nice fighting in New York. It kind of helps the local guys' careers move along, and it's the opportunity of a lifetime to fight in the Garden. Every fighter wants to fight in the Garden. This is the first card that's in New York that's not UFC, so.
It's and as you said, it's a couple of firsts happening here. You're the first from Amsterdam. You're the first from New York. So a lot of sort of a historical day for you.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
It's good. I have a feeling I'm one of the first fights in the card. I'm the first New York fighter actually fighting in New York that wasn't in the UFC. So it's a big opportunity. It's a big big card. You know, they have having 4 title fights. It's basically, besides the UFC, it's the biggest card out there.
We had it's been a long fight in our state assembly to get this bill passed. We had some big names up there, but we also had local fighters like you coming up year after year to advocate to lift a ban on professional MMA in New York State. That finally happened. That was a historical day earlier this year. We saw some professional MMA events happen downstate, upstate at the Times Union Center. Now we're seeing this happen here. You're finally getting the chance, something we talked about for years and years, to play the home game, right?
Yeah, and before anything, I want to thank Angelo. He pushed really hard, and we were doing this. There was a lot of things and times we talked about it, and we met to do things to get this passed. And there was a point where I said, it's not going to get passed. They were trying not to pass it, but guys like him really helped make it happen. And I'm glad he gave me the opportunity to also help. We did a lot of things together to get it passed.
We didn't give up on it. It became a reality. This day has come now. Again, we've seen it from a big picture. Now we're talking about a local fighter from the city of Amsterdam. This has local impact. Your Facebook has been blowing up. People are real excited for you. You got friends, you got fans that have had to travel to come and see you in other states like New Jersey, and other neighboring states. This time you're doing it at home and at one of the most famous arenas in the entire state, in the entire area, Madison Square Garden. How has this changed your life?
Oh, the support is awesome. I have a ton of support. I actually took this fight on 2 weeks' notice. I've never done that before, but when they asked me to fight in New York, in the Garden, I couldn't say no. It was a big opportunity, and I'm excited. A lot of people changed their New Year's plans to come out and see me, and I love the local support. Amsterdam's a tough little town with tough sports programs and tough people that stand behind me more than anywhere I've ever seen, so I'm really happy. And
you're going to be fighting amongst some big names in the sport. You're going to be fighting some championship contenders are going to be there.
There's 4 title fights on one card. That's never been done. It's one of the biggest cards I've ever seen. So to be on there is a great opportunity.
To be able to fight in front of the home crowd now, friends, family are going to be in the crowd. How does that change how does that change things for you?
More than anything, I had a lot of support. I had a lot of people that always came out to see me fight, but more than anything, it's just having the fair shake of not being the guy that's brought in to fight the guy. So now I'm the guy. I'm from New York. I feel like I'm going to get a fairer shake than I ever got before. If I lose this fight, it's because I lost it. I don't think it's going to be because someone's cousin or uncle is the judge, you know? So these guys have been fighting my whole career. I'm fighting guys. I fought guys that lived, you know, they could take a bicycle to the arena. So it's like you're going to have guys, when you fight those kind of guys, you're going to have judges, you're going to have refs, you're going to have, they fought their whole careers in that one arena, and I'm there for just a night. So if it's a close fight, or if they lost the fight by a little bit, they get the win often. So I don't see that happening here.
So this is something that's very special for your hometown of Amsterdam. This is something very special for you, for your family, for all your fans. I know they can support you on Facebook.
Yeah.
They can send messages rooting for you. We'll be rooting for you here back at home. We'll make sure we spread the word. The fight is at 1 p.m. 1 p.m.
1 p.m.
on New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve day. The 31st is 1 p.m. Anyone that wants to watch a fight, you can watch it at WSOF.com, and you can see the local guy beat someone up.
I want to thank you for joining us as always.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, here on my local show, you've been with me this whole way in this fight to legalize MMA. We made it happen. The local perspective, I think, is very important because we hear the big names, but we want to hear local impact. We want to hear how it affects the people that live in the city of Amsterdam, the city of Schenectady, in the surrounding towns, how it has changed their lives. And this is the first, but it's certainly not going to be the last.
Not going to be the last.
So you hope to continue your career now as a professional in New York State?
Hopefully next Albany. Hopefully we get a card right here in Albany, Schenectady. I would love that.
And what are you hearing from the people that you train with? Are they also looking to pursue now professional MMA in the state of New York?
Yeah, there's a few guys that were amateurs that now are more interested in turning pro. The amateurs they were allowing to fight, which didn't make sense, but they wouldn't allow the pros to fight. So you see guys more adamant to turn pro and actually be able to pay their bills to fight and not just fight because they love fighting.
And this is like any sport. This is a passion. This is something that you get up in the morning. There's something that you want to do. You have your heart and soul into it. And as I always said, New York has some of the best athletes in the sport. Certainly the best fans. And now to be able to give them a chance to play the whole game, I think means a lot to you and to everyone else. So if you're watching World Series of Fighting, New Year's Eve, you don't want to miss it. 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. I should be the first or second fight on the card. WSOF.com. Check it out.
You're on Facebook. You're on Instagram. You're on Twitter.
Yeah,
so all the social media. There's plenty of ways. If you can't make the fight, you can support a local favorite from the city of Amsterdam, Tommy Marcellino. Tommy, we wish you the best of luck. We'll be rooting for you. I know this is not the last, so we'll get plenty of opportunities to see you.
We'll be back.
I wish you the best. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining us here on Santabarbara Now, where we talk about local things that have local impact in our local areas. Local fighters like Tommy Marcellino that's going to be fighting for the first time at the World Series of Fighting, making their debut here at Madison Square Garden in New York. Join us again here on the show where we'll talk more about issues affecting local areas.